Muted. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Mm. Hello, Rich.
Okay, can anybody hear me now? Brad, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Rich, how are you?
I'm really confused right now. I'm sorry about that. I have no idea what the problem was.
No problem.
Here we are here now. So let's let it rip. Tell me what's going on here. I got your email last week, so I've got a little bit of an understanding. But why don't you just give me the download?
All right, I'll be glad to. We have been invited, Incognito Custom Closets has been invited by the Memphis Area Home Builders Association to host an upcoming meeting at our office and showroom. And this is the first time in 17 years that they've invited us to do this. We would very much like to turn it into a good turnout, specifically for the builders. And historically, when they've done this with other companies, they had a rather pitiful turnout of both the builders and the associate members. So I'd like to put my best foot forward from a marketing standpoint and see if I can't encourage a few more of them to come over and see what we can do for them. And so the letter, or it may go as an email that you have in front of you, is my attempt to get this started.
Okay, so let's understand the situation just one more time. So there's going to be a meeting where home builders are going to be attending.
That's correct.
As a part of the, what was it again? Was it the NAHB?
Yes, it's our local chapter of the NAHB. And there is a monthly meeting scheduled throughout the year. Typically, they have it at the association's building, but this time this year rather, they're inviting some of the members to have the meeting at their place of business. And we're a long-term member, so they've offered that to us. And but if we're going to do this, I'd like to get quite a few of these guys over here rather than just a handful.
Okay, now, last year and the year before, were there any held at people's businesses, or is this a new thing this year?
No, this is a new thing this year.
Okay, and when is this, in May?
It's going to be in June.
June, okay. And are the ones that are before the June one that you're doing also going to be held at other people's businesses, or are they going to be held at the NAHB's building?
No, so far, this year, they're scheduled to be held at some of the other associate members' businesses.
Okay.
One is an insulation contractor, one does brick, one does landscaping, those types of associates.
Okay, and when you hold this meeting at your office, are you then becoming the featured speaker? What's going to happen at the meeting?
No, I believe that the home builders themselves will probably make a few announcements as far as the associates' business. I do expect for them to say thank you to Incognito for having us here and providing cheese and crackers and whatever else we choose to put out for them to eat. But I don't think we're going to be able to, I don't think we're going to be giving a speech in as much as they're going to be looking around our facility. We'll have all of our salespeople here, so we'll be able to meet with them on an individual basis. I don't think there's going to be any speech making on our part, though.
So what will be the content of that meeting?
Well, I think that the home builders will take the first 10 or 15 minutes and handle all of their company business.
Okay, so typical business, then what, is there a keynote speaker, or is there, what do they do for the main part of the meeting?
Yeah, yes, typically they will invite in a speaker. He may be a local politician, he may be last year's president, and he'll have a particular topic, but they don't have an allowance in there for us to make a speech presenting our company. Probably the only thing they'll do, again, is just thank us for hosting the meeting. And now, then it will...
Speak from your own personal experience. Do you tend to go to meetings based on who the keynote is going to be, or do you tend to just go anyway, or do you tend to go for what reason?
Well, I would say that I go for both. If we certainly attend those meetings because it gives us an opportunity to meet and greet hopefully the home builders, but we also do business with a lot of the other associate members. They are, they're all homeowners themselves also. There's a great opportunity for us to network there, even if many of them are already clients. They can introduce us to, they can tell us about jobs that we may not have already known about. But also, too, if they have a good keynote speaker, then I might be particularly keen to make that meeting if I'm interested in what either that speaker or the topic that he's going to be speaking on.
Now, you gave me numbers last week. I believe it was something like 50 or 75 show up out of like 500 members, or can you tell me those numbers?
Yes. There are approximately 500 members total in the association. And that's made up of approximately 100-plus builders. The remainder of those are associate members, just like our company. And I get this information from the Home Builders Association. They said typically one of their average meetings, they have between 50 and 75 people attend. That seems rather poor to me.
I don't necessarily think so. I mean, people are busy, got stuff going on, whatever, right?
Well, I might agree, but I'd like to give them every reason possible to come to this meeting.
Okay, now,
in particular, the builders.
Meetings, right? You go to these meetings normally, right? You normally go to these meetings, right?
Yes,
so
I do.
You said, according to the association, it's normally 50 to 75, but you witnessed that, right?
Well, I do witness it, but I have never counted heads before, but they keep up with that.
Okay. And out of the 100 builders, how many of them are good prospects for you? All of them, or just a certain type of builder, or what? I
would say on a percentage basis, 50 or 60%, because we probably have the greatest success in a new home that's being built of $250,000 and above. and there's a certain percentage of the builders that build here in the starter market below $200,000. Those are not prospects for us today.
Okay, and how many of the 100 roughly members do you already have some kind of relationship with, even if it's you just kind of know them?
Half of those. Although the sales have dropped in new construction over the last 3 years, but we have done business with approximately 50% of the 100 members.
Okay, and out of the 50 that you haven't done business with, is it because you just haven't gotten to them yet, or they use somebody else, or what do you think?
I think in most cases we've done a good job in selling to those group, but the ones that we don't do business with are probably still using their carpenter to finish out the closets. And as a general rule, their buyers are not nearly as happy with that as the work that we do. And that's the reason I've taken the approach that I have in this letter.
Now, typically what's going to happen in these 250,000 plus houses, are the builders going to give the homeowners a say in that and make it as a custom item and charge them for it, or are they just in their own budgets have an allowance for this kind of thing and they just do whatever they want without any say from the homeowner? Is it more of a custom deal, or is it less of a custom deal, I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, well, in the jobs that we're brought in on, typically the builder will sit down with the homeowner and tell them, and obviously the dollar amount is based on the final selling price of the house, but they may tell the homeowner, look, I had planned to spend $3,000, for example, on trimming out the closets, and I was going to get Bob the carpenter to build it, and I was going to have my painter paint it. Now, if you want to take that allowance and spend it with Incognito, and then we have customers say, you know, they want us to do the closets, and either they want to stick within that allowance, or they say, no, I'm willing to go over, and they have to pay the overage. So if they want to spend $5,000, then they have to put up another $2,000, either pay me directly or give it to the builder.
Can they do that before the contract is signed so that they can roll it into the house?
Yes, and many times they do, but it is not unusual that I will have the buyer say, I don't want to add to my mortgage. How much is the difference? I'm going to write you a check for that.
Okay. I mean, I can see that happening, but I can also see a fairly decent contingency of people saying, gosh, if I don't have to come out of pocket for this extra $2,000, because, you know, when you're building a house and moving in, you got all kinds of $2,000 you got to spend, right?
That is correct, yes.
So to roll that in for an extra, you know, whatever, $17 a month on the mortgage is probably not that big a deal for a lot of guys.
I agree.
Okay, well, that just helps me get the background. And, you know, really what I'm trying to get at is this, and here's why I'm asking all those questions. I want to get a feel for what people are thinking about, number one, custom closets, and number two, your company, as they consider coming to this meeting, okay? Because that's gonna drive what kinds of things we should say to them. I mean, in marketing, and this is kind of me taking one step back and giving some general marketing advice that will then take and drill down to this situation. In any marketing situation, we want to take a look at what the scenario is going to be of somebody seeing our marketing and trying to anticipate what their reaction will be, what we should say to them based on their current knowledge and understanding so that we can match it up. So what I'm wondering is this, and I do have one question before I get to that. On your headline here, I see it says, turn your closets into a profit center rather than expense. Can you tell me how that works?
Yes.
Give me a for instance.
Okay. The Incognito has very good name recognition in our marketplace and with these builders. They know who we are, but especially their buyers know who we are. Most of the people that are building a new home in the Memphis area, they would prefer to have a well-organized closet and pantry and garage rather than just the shelf and rod that the builder has typically put in there, and they're willing to pay for that. And so much so that within the first 2 or 3 years, hundreds of them a year will have us come out and rip out the material that was recently installed and pay extra to have us come in after that. And so what I'd like to convince the builder of is his clients, first of all, don't even want the carpenter-built shelving that he's putting in there. They'd rather have our product. And if the profit center comes from, I will sell to the builder at a wholesale price, effectively about 20% less than I sell the very same product to the homeowner later. And so he could spend money with me now, mark that up, effectively making a profit on the work that we do in there, and his customers are going to like it better on top of that. So
at a $5,000 sale, he gets $1,000, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay, good. Do you have marketing that you, let's say a one-page flyer that you hand to home builders that they can pass through to their clients to communicate all that to them?
No, the marketing material that we would hand to the builder that tells that he's going to make money on this, obviously he's not going to turn around and hand that to his buyer. So
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, do you just as a standard business practice have a flyer that a builder would show to a client?
Oh yes, yes we do.
Okay, and what does it say?
Basically, it is one of our sales brochures, and it promotes the company and the product and shows pictures of the work that we do. However, we have not had good success with this particular group of builders at passing that on. So we learned a long time ago that we had to market directly to the homeowner in order to get them to ask for this, because the builders out there that we're not doing business with today, they are of the opinion that we are just going to charge them more for putting shelving in their closet, and there's no, they don't see the benefit in doing that. So I've had to market directly to their client and get their client to demand that the builder put this in.
And how do you do that? Do you pull building permits?
We do everything. We pull building permits. We just canvass our area. The Memphis metropolitan area is not huge by size, and with our sales force, we just we ferret out every job that's being remodeled or built. But yes, pulling permits is probably the backbone of that.
So if 100 homes were built in a given time frame, whether that's a week or a month or a year, but let's say 100, out of those 100 homes, how many do you reach the homeowner or the person that's remodeling or building, let's say building in this case, during the building process, would you guess?
I would say 60 or 70% of those.
Okay, and the other 30 or 40% just for whatever reason you can't find the information, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Or some you just don't find out about. Can I assume that some of the permits go into the builder's name so you can't find who the
that's right. If the right, many of the permits are under the builder's name, and that just leaves us not knowing if it is pre-sold or if it's possibly a market house. And in those cases, we then go call on that builder. But there's still a certain faction out there that has resisted our sales process. And
okay. Now, just as a note, I think it would be worthwhile on a future Tuesday morning ad clinic to evaluate the marketing that you do have for homeowners.
Okay.
In that specific situation. I don't mean just your general marketing. I mean that specific situation. Hey, we pulled the permit. We know you're building a house. I'm not saying you say that, but in that situation.
Yes.
Because that would be very interesting to me. And also the marketing that you use to go through the builders. And I'm real aware of what you're saying, that, hey, they don't necessarily pass it through, and that's a problem. But I'd be interested to see what that looks like. In this case, this particular piece I think is interesting because I think the bigger opportunity is not even necessarily at this event, although I think this event is good, and let's talk about it and let's make sure it's handled to the best of your ability. I think the ability to just put a marketing program in place to go to those builders, particularly the ones that are not currently referring you, would be interesting, because the messaging here is going to be the same, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So that being said, and that's a lot of background, but here's the reality, and this is a comment for everybody on the call listening, not just you. It's basically impossible to know what to say in a piece of marketing until all of the background is understood. So forgive me for going into that much detail, but it's absolutely critical. And if you've been on these calls very much, you know that that's pretty much the standard procedure. Okay, so let's look at this now. Make money in the process, features that buyers want. Okay, one last question I meant to ask you. When they come to your location, do you have a bunch of displays and samples and stuff that they can look at?
Yes, we now have a 7,000 square foot showroom showing examples of everything that we do: closets, home offices, garages, day beds.
How many different ones?
Probably 40.
Probably like 42.
Yes, just 40 different displays.
Okay, and I think that should be a major emphasis of this flyer. Because think about it, okay? So I'm just Joe Builder sitting there, and I've maybe heard of you, or I've kind of heard of you, but I'm not that familiar. I've never heard of you. Let's talk to that category, okay? So I'm not all that concerned about the 50 that are already buying from you. I mean, I am concerned about them, but in this scenario, I'm more concerned about getting guys out and generating some incremental business. So this guy sees this thing, and he sees, okay, you can turn your closet into a profit center. That's interesting. Let's talk about that in just a minute. But I think it's also interesting for this person to have a chance to come really see it and to promote to him, hey, this is a chance for you to see these 40 different displays of basically the full range of everything that we can do. And is that interesting to a guy? Is that something that would make a guy want to show up? Because look at the message you have right now. Turn your closets into a profit center rather than an expense. This is a good message. And we can talk about how to mold it and fine-tune it a little bit, and we'll do that in a minute. But it's not something that really gets him to the meeting.
Okay.
What makes the guy want to come to the meeting after he reads that? He says, well, okay, this is good. I like that. I'll talk to this guy. Maybe a few guys would say, well, you know, instead of picking up the phone or just keeping this in mind, I'll actually go to the meeting so I can see this guy. But that's probably unlikely. Wouldn't you agree? That somebody, given the chance of either just filing this information mentally and physically, or giving you a call, or waiting until the next situation comes up that's appropriate and reaching out to you, that's probably easier, all of those options, than saying, well, let me go over to this place at this homeowners meeting that I really wasn't going to go to anyway and talk to the guy. I mean, a couple might do that, but most probably wouldn't.
All right, so I need to give him a better reason. An immediate reason
to come to the meeting, okay?
Yes.
Now, don't mistake that for, hey, this reason you're giving him for doing business with you isn't a good reason to do business with you. I think it's an excellent reason. And in fact, I think if we can start to promote some of these hot buttons, make money, this is what they want anyway. I like this. You gave me a very good visual image. Shelf and rod. I like that because it just sounds so stark and minimalistic and cheap and crappy and uninteresting. I like that. So, you know, instead of giving him a shelf and rod, you know, give him whatever. Closet of the Gods, probably not appropriate, but you get the idea. So that's good. But in this case, I want you to come to the meeting. Why? What's in it for me? If I come to the meeting, what am I going to see? What difference is it going to make for me actually showing up? And I think that coming to your 7,000-foot showroom, seeing over 40 displays so they can get a feel for the full range of what's available, I think is probably more likely to hook a guy in. Now, let's push pause on that thought for a second, because the other part of that thought is, well, I want them to know this thing about closets being a profit center. I want them to know about the shelf and rod versus this awesome thing that I can do. You know, that's probably something that you need to think about in terms of a ongoing campaign to these guys, where you're going to mail them, you're going to send them emails. We don't want to be abusive with any of that, but we do want to get the message across. But if I want them to come take a look, I think we better promote that, hey, we got something worth taking a look at.
Okay.
Your thoughts?
Well, we have always pushed that factor. Nobody else in our marketplace has a facility as large and as nice and as thorough, but I was trying not to make it self-serving, but I was trying to aim at more of his hot buttons. But I can certainly make a strong case for visiting our showroom because of you can, and I tell the buyers all the time, come over here and put your hands on it. Let your husband come over and slam the doors and the drawers. See how it's built, and look at the colors that are available, and look what we can do. So, and that's the reason that we spent the.
Here's what you're doing versus what you should be doing, and don't take that as a scolding. Just kind of a reset a little bit.
Okay.
You're looking at this in terms of what do I want people to know, what would make people want to do business with me, and I'm asking a different question. I'm asking a question is, what would make somebody want to come to this meeting? Because that's what you started with.
Right.
And it's not necessarily the same question. I mean, it's related, obviously, but it's not the same question.
Okay.
So if the question is what would make somebody want to come, this isn't necessarily the right message.
Okay.
Again, I don't want to discount the value of this message. I just don't know that it's the appropriate message for the situation. You said, well, I don't want to sound self-serving. I want it to be, something for them. Well, it is something for them if they can come see and get a feel for this. Basically, this would be like, let me give you a parallel. The Super Bowl was 2 days ago, and it was in Indianapolis. And
Yes.
This would be like telling people, come to watch a fantastic football game. The football game is going to be great. There's Eli Manning versus Tom Brady. It's going to be the most unbelievable storyline. It's a rematch of 4 years ago, blah, blah, blah. But what you really want to say if you're Indianapolis is, hey, come check out our city. Come check out our downtown area. Come see our urban renewal. Come check out our zip lines. And we're the city with the most monuments of any city, besides Washington, D.C., and we've got this, that, and the other. That's really what we're trying to promote, right?
Yes.
If we're Indianapolis.
That's right.
Now, for the NFL, it's a whole different story. So I just want to make sure that we keep our eye on the ball of what is it that we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to get people to the showroom.
That's correct.
So let's work on that. Okay?
All right.
So what do you think we should say about that? My job is just to identify stuff. I don't actually write stuff. Come on.
Okay. Well, I can work on the writing. So, do you think that we should start that even in the headline? Our goal of the headline is initially to interrupt. Yes.
Yes.
Am I going to be able to interrupt them with telling them I have 40 displays scattered over 7,000 square feet for them to see?
Well, let's go back.
Does that have enough interruptive quality to it?
Well, why would somebody want to do that?
Well,
see, you're shortchanging yourself on this situation. Okay, and I'm trying to tell you, quit shortchanging yourself. You're saying,
okay.
Well, I don't know if anybody wants to come see this. Well, if you're a builder, isn't this something that's critical and vital to their business?
Well, that's exactly the problem that I've had with this group before, and is that because this is not a new showroom. We've been here before, but as much as I like to promote that,
I did 50 that don't normally come to your business.
Yes.
How many of them have been to your showroom?
None. Zero.
Okay, so they don't care about what has happened in the past. I think you're putting way too much stock into the fact that we've been here forever and everybody already knows us and we've got the best name and everybody's already aware of that, because they're not all aware of that. The homeowners are not aware of that, because how would somebody know about Incognito Custom Closets unless they'd walked down the path of wanting this kind of stuff before? Now, a lot have, but if you look at the raw numbers of those who haven't versus those who have, it's very small. I don't want to take away, I don't want to minimize the great work that you've done. You've been around forever, and lots of people do know about you. But I do want you to understand that there's a lot of people that don't know about you. A lot of people don't understand what this is. A lot of people don't realize the significance of it. And those are really the only people I want to talk to.
I agree. And this particular effort is focused on that very small group of people. How do I take those features and address it to one of their hot buttons?
Well, and their hot button is what? Their hot button is is I want them to know, this is a benefit of ownership hot button, okay, which is I want them to know that there's really cool crap that can be done with closets, and you can come
Okay.
look at it all if you come out to this meeting that's being held anyway. So
Okay.
let's just write that down in raw terms. This is a hunk of clay. We're going to mold it in a minute, but let's just throw the clay on the table.
All right.
There's really cool crap you can do with closets that will make your customers happier, right?
Yes.
Make you more money.
Yes. I'd stop right there. That's it. They want to offer features that their buyers want, and they want to make money while they do it. Now obviously, I
one
can't.
more. There's really
Right.
cool crap you can do with closets that will make your customers happy, make you more money, and that sound was me turning my paper over and looking at the other side. Let's see what I've got here. And get you out of the shelf and rod category
Or business.
into the cool stuff category. Now, this is just clay on a table. We haven't decided if we want a vase or a dog yet. We just got clay, okay?
I understand. And all that you
Okay.
said is accurate.
There's really cool crap you can do with closets. They'll make your customers happy, make you more money, and get you out of the shelf and rod category into the cool stuff category. And here's a chance to come see for yourself.
I like it.
Now, here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to say, here, let me tell you all about how you make more money. And here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to say, let me tell you about how your customers are going to be happier. We'll mention that. It's worth saying. It's something that we've worked into this whole thing. But what we really want to focus on is come see for yourself, because it's not that hard of a concept for people to grasp. It's not that hard to say custom closets are cooler and you're going to make more money. Okay, how does that work? Well, I'll tell you, it's not that hard to understand. Your stuff is going to look cooler instead of shelf and rod spars. I want you to come look at it. Come see for yourself. The proof is in the pudding. Come slam your own hands in the door, right?
Yes.
Now, let's go back one more time, and then we'll kind of wrap this up because we're going long here. Let's talk about the 50.
Okay.
If you had to guess, I know you don't know this, but I want you to guess. Out of the 50, what percentage are shelf and rod guys versus using another competitor of yours for cool stuff, but it's just not you guys?
50% of those
Or
are shelf and rod guys. Yes.
Okay, and the other 50% are what? Using carpenters other than you to make stuff that's pretty cool, at least relative to shelf and rod.
Yes.
Now, your 40 or so displays have closets. What else?
Garages, pantries, linen closets, craft rooms, which may not appeal to the builder, but it does to his buyer.
Well, and the builder, if they have any intelligence at all, understand that. Granted, some don't.
Home offices. Those are the major categories.
Okay. I'm just writing some notes here.
Okay.
Taking notes here still.
All right, so am I.
Now, everybody else that's kind of just sitting there listening, you could be writing this out and, you know, seeing how you do here. Okay. Don't miss your chance to see over 40 custom closets, garages, pantries, linen closets, craft rooms, home offices, up close, personal on June 12th at Incognito Custom Closets at the NAHB meeting. Slam the door, see the styles, look at the colors, learn how to make your customers happy, and make more money in the process. Now, I like this because it's very visually stimulating.
Okay.
What did you come up with? You were making notes.
I was working in the, you know, we have 40 displays spread over 7,000 square feet. That's a lot of space for shelving displays. So I wanted to, and they're bit into square footage. So I wanted them to understand there's a lot of things here to see that, you know, just for the cost of visiting. Let me buy them a cheese and cracker.
Okay, I'm good. I'll add that. Don't miss your chance to see over 40 displays spread over 7,000 square feet. Good. Keep going.
That's all I've got so far. I'll take the time to fill all the rest of this in. But
now, in your mind, I know already what your objection is to what I just said. You said, well, it's not their only chance. We're always here, and if we say don't miss your chance, then
no, I'm not hung up on that
okay,
because during
the last 50 years, these 50 they never came.
That's exactly right. That's and to date, I have not given them a compelling enough reason to consider us, or certainly to visit our showroom. And so, but here's an unusual chance that I have to get them to come. Now, they may come for the liquor, they may come for this ad, but I want to give them every possible reason to come check this out. And I love the idea of promoting all of the things that we've done to be able to show them. I just initially, when I wrote this, I guess perhaps I was too focused on them making money at it, you know, just on their hot buttons. But I would love the opportunity to tell them about the amount of space and all the displays and things that typically are of great interest to their buyer. So if I can convert that into a compelling reason for them to come out here, and I think we're doing that, then I win. Because the builders I'm sorry?
I agree with you. Keep going. I'm going to show you how this should look on a piece of paper.
All right. Yeah, the builders that have used us reluctantly in the past, even if their buyer made them do it, even if they were, you know, their dad had always used the carpenter, once they use us and they see what we do, how we do it, and that their homeowners like it, we've never lost a builder client before. So I just need to convince them to, you know, to do it once. And I think if coming to the showroom is going to be a big move in that direction. And so far, I haven't been able to get these guys over here. So if I could take advantage of the Home Builders Association in order to make that work, then that's what I want to do.
Bravo. All right. Here's how I want this page to look. You see this on your screen?
Yes.
Line this up a little bit. Okay. We've got an area for the headline and the sub-headline. You see that at the top.
Yes.
Underneath that, we can put a little bit of text and transition. Then we've got 3 boxes across. And in these 3 boxes, we want to have sub-headlines that have bullet points under them, okay?
Okay.
Because bullet points are easy to read. subheadline, the first one, I haven't decided what order I want these in, but the 3 headlines need to be what you'll see.
Okay.
7,000 square feet. Now, that's redundant with the headline, but that's okay. 7,000 square feet, 42 different deals, linen closets, craft, etc. Every imaginable, blah, 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 different kinds of hardware, you know, whatever they're going to actually see. The next one is
Yes.
Homeowners are asking for this anyway. That's the raw material. We have to kind of mold that a little bit. And then we just put some bullet points like you've already got on your existing flyer.
Okay.
You know, we do a lot of, you know, less expensive to do it up front. 82% of homeowners say they want this, whatever those things are. Next one is turn closets into a profit center. So now we've got, boom, come take a look, a little bit of text, and then here's what you'll see, here's why people want it, and here's how you make money. And if all they did was scan that real quick, they're going to get the full, you know, idea. So that's how I would do that. And I would just use bullet points on those bottom ones. Don't use text. Nobody will read it.
Okay.
They'll read the bullets. So let's recap what we've learned here. I think the most important takeaway point was to really look at the situation and say, well, what is it I want people to know, given the situation? And what is it I want them to do? Well, I want them to come to the deal. That's what I want them to do. If I want them to come to my meeting, then I got to make sure that the message is tailored towards getting people to want to come to a meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it.
Okay, I like it. I'll get to work on the details.
Okay, thanks, and you'll be hearing from me soon on your website. We're there.
Okay, all right. I appreciate it. Thank you, Rich. All right. Bye.
Okay, now over to Derek. Derek, you there?
I'm here.
Hey, Big D, what's up?
Another beautiful warm day in sunny Vancouver.
Good, glad to hear it. Sorry, I hope you don't mind me calling you Big D. It's my default nickname for everybody I know named Derek.
You know what's funny, Rich, is actually that was a nickname that I had when I was 6 years old for my swim coach. Used to call me Big D.
Well, I just can't call somebody Derek. Just Big D is what comes out of my mouth. Sorry about that. So tell me what we're looking at here today.
I have no problem with that. My girlfriend can't even call me Derek. I won't tell you what she calls me.
Okay, we've got web content review. So do we need to go to your website, or do we have was something sent over?
I give you a link. I can give you the link again if you like.
Let me see if I've got it on here.
It's not the same thing that we worked on last week.
Okay, well, let's do this then.
That's it.
Okay, what's the web address?
Greetingcardonline.net.
Did I talk to you last week on the TMAC?
You did not talk to me about this. We talked about my my main archery marketing website, which I'm still working on.
I've got you and another guy I get mixed up because you have very similar kinds of businesses and very similar kinds of needs, and I can't remember which one I looked at. So, okay, good. All right, so what if you could spend 80% less than you're currently paying for a greeting card? Okay, under what circumstance will somebody see this, and what are you trying to accomplish?
Okay, so the circumstances is that the majority of the traffic will be coming, all the traffic will be coming online through a Google AdWords campaign, and also doing a pay-per-view campaign with another company as well. So what I'm trying to accomplish is myself and a friend of mine are marketing greeting cards from a company called Send Out Cards, which is an online greeting card company based out of the U.S., network marketing company. And essentially what I'm trying to accomplish is to have people fill out their information at the bottom of the page to request a demonstration of the of the platform, if you will. Because that's really where the power of this comes from, is it's seeing how easy it is, convenient it is, and cheap it is to create a greeting card. And it's actually a paper greeting card, not a e-card.
Okay. The paper card, not an e-card. That may need to be made more abundantly clear, just because online people may be thinking, e-cards.
Right, and that's actually where if you scroll down a little bit, you will show that this is not an e-card. When I do my Google AdWords campaign, it's going to be centered around paper greeting cards as opposed to, because I don't want to hit the e-card market, because there's just too many companies out there.
Is this in Canada and the U.S., or is it just U.S. or just Canada?
It's actually in 7 countries.
Okay.
Including Canada and the U.S.
So when you say 62 cents, is that Canadian or American or new Taiwanese dollars?
62 cents U.S.
Okay.
Because my AdWords campaign is geared towards specifically U.S. customers.
Okay, that's really what I wanted to know. And the reason is because I think it would be very useful to make this, what you're doing, the way that it's written right now is you're making me, as the reader, have to ask myself questions and then dig for the answers.
Okay.
So here's the question that I'm having to dig for. Oh, is this a regular greeting card or is it an e-card? And then I can find that answer. I'm not saying that it's not in there. I'm just saying I have to ask myself that question, then I have to look for the answer. And the other question is, okay, well, does it include the postage or is it just the card?
Okay. If you want me to answer that, it does not include postage.
Okay, and so what does it include? I mean, I see on here, that's not my question. My question is this. Are you going to send me a card that I then mail to somebody, or do you also offer the ability to just mail it?
Again, answers lower down. Basically, what you're doing is you go on to the website, you choose a card, you customize it, you put in contact information, you press send, you do nothing else. It's done. The company sticks it in an envelope, puts a stamp on it, mails it for you. And again, that information is down below.
Okay, so what about postage? So it's 62 cents plus postage, right?
Which is again down. Oh no, you know what, Rich? Actually, I should have had I did make some changes, and where it says 62 cents, I did have plus postage in brackets. Okay, so but I'm not trying to write the ad right now. I'm just trying to get a feel for what the deal is. So it's 62 cents plus postage, right? Okay, so postage on a regular greeting card is going to be what, 45 cents? That's the current first-class postage in the United States. Is that right? I don't know. You live in the U.S.
Well, what I'm saying is I think a greeting card is just a standard regular stamp.
Yeah.
I mean, every card I've ever sent has gone through with a regular stamp. So we're looking at
correct.
So we're looking at $1.07 with the postage.
Okay. Again, I convert this into Canadian. It's $1.10. We pay more, of course.
Okay, so let's just go with that $1.07. Is there an upcharge on the postage, or do they pay it at cost?
Nope, cost.
Okay, I think it's actually technically illegal to upcharge postage, but you can vary it as a service fee.
No, it's not. There is no fee.
Okay, and are there discounts for multiples? Or is this already the discounted price?
No, that's a good question. The card actually, that you basically buy points every month. If you come on as a retail customer, you're paying more. The 62 cents is basically the cheapest that you can get the card. You can pay as much as about $1.10 if you customize the card, do 3 panels, and are a retail customer versus a wholesale customer.
Okay, so this represents the lowest price, correct?
That represents the lowest price, but the highest price is about 50% more.
Okay, and again, this isn't a situation where I really care what the answer is. I just need to know as I try to look at how to say this, right?
Gotcha.
Okay. What if you could spend up to 80% less than you're currently paying for a greeting card? What if you could have 17,000 cards, ability to customize, ability to insert your own photos? Now, I think what we can accomplish here is we can say all of this in a more word-efficient way.
Okay.
So it's not like there's anything here that's particularly hard to understand or wrong. It's just let's say it a little bit more to the point, and I want you to remember what I said earlier. I think what's happening now is you're causing people to have questions pop up in their mind that they then have to go look for. It's kind of like an Easter egg hunt.
Right.
And we don't want Easter egg hunts. We want to just take the basket of eggs and go put it in their hand and go, here, you already found them all. And they go, oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see how we can do this. How much do cards normally cost? My impression is that cards normally, and I know that you can get really, really expensive cards, but normally a card is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $2 to $4.50. That seems to be the range that most cards are. $2 to $4 probably.
You can get a card here for $1 if you go to the dollar store.
Absolutely, there's some cheap, but if you just if you go to the grocery store or something like that, and they've got a big wall full of cards, or you go to Target or Walmart or something like that, you're generally going to pay about $2 to $4 for a decent card. That seems to be about right.
Okay, not here, but yeah, probably in the U.S., but not here. You cannot get a card for under $3 here unless you're going to the dollar store.
Okay, they do have certain brands of cards that are specifically positioned as the cheaper cards.
Right, okay.
Maybe like Shoebox Greetings, which is a division of Hallmark. Don't quote me on this, and don't quote me on the prices, but just generally speaking, I think they've got that. Okay. Well, let's see here. This is the part where I write something, isn't it?
Sorry, I'm trying to bury my phone.
That's all right. I'm not offended.
I guess the difficulty for me was what information do I put up top? What's going to grab their attention first? Because as you said, some of the things that they're searching for, the answers are down below.
Well, that's what I'm here for, and I'm just going to work through this for a second. I know it's kind of boring to listen to me thinking, but that's all I can do right now.
No, that's quite all right, Rich.
Actually, I think with a pen. I'm just writing stuff down. I might go to $1.07 instead of 62 cents. I know 62 cents sounds sexier.
Yep.
But I like to be able to immediately invoke, hey, this is everything.
Okay.
What if you could send a custom greeting card for just $1.07, ... and then we just go straight to bullet points, not questions like you have here, because then I have to read them and I have to try to figure them out. See, I'm just taking the same information. I'm going in a more straightforward approach, okay?
Right. Yeah.
What if you could send a custom greeting card for just $1, for just $1.07, ... paper and envelope card, parentheses, not e-card, USPS postage included, underlined, 17,000 cards to choose from. See where I'm going with this?
Yep, absolutely.
Completely custom, completely customized, photos, messages, etc., created on your computer, mailed from our facility all just $1.07. So let's read that and see how we like it. And we kind of keep it the same what if approach. What if you send a custom greeting card for just $1.07, ... includes paper and envelope card, not e-card, U.S. Postal Service postage included, 17,000 cards to choose from, completely customized, photos, messages, etc., created on your computer, mailed from our facility, all for just $1.07.
I like the way it sounds. The only reservation I have is that the cards, if you start inserting your own photos, you do pay an extra 31 cents. And it's not 31 cents per photo, it's 31 cents for up to 20 photos on a card.
Okay, so basically the headline I just wrote is lying, right? Now, I can customize the message, right?
You can you're paying the same. You're paying the same 62 cents if you're customizing the message. The only thing you're being charged an extra 31 cents for is if you do add your own photos.
What if you could send a custom greeting card for just $1.07, ... paper and envelope card, not e-card, USPS postage included, 17,000 cards to choose from, completely customized message, created on your computer, mailed from our facility, all for just $1.07, plus include up to 20 custom photos for just 31 cents more, right?
Yep, that
Okay,
works.
great. See, now it's
not
not a gotcha. All for just $1.07, and done, underline, in less than 4 minutes. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Now, see this, the days of heading to the store and squandering your hard-earned money, you know, it's pretty self-evident, right?
Yeah.
It's like saying, what if we said, what if you could drive a brand new American-made sedan for only $15,000 that got 85 miles per gallon.
Wow.
Was fully trimmed with leather and navigation system and all the bells and whistles, all for just $15,000, and will deliver to your house. Do I really need to have a big dramatic headline about how much better that gas mileage is than what they're getting now?
Well, God,
well,
no,
I can.
Me on that car.
I can, but
yeah.
I mean, it's self-evident. I'm just trying to make a point that it's self-evident that this is a good deal.
Yeah.
Now, 17,000 cards to choose from. Can they look at the cards or get a feel for the cards?
They can look. Yes. There's about 15, 20, 25 categories of cards, and they can look through every card inside and outside.
Before they sign up?
Yes, because when they have to sign up through me. So what I'm trying to accomplish is to have them give me their information, get them on a phone call, and show them a 3-minute video that actually walks them through.
Whoa.
Showing.
Hang on a second. you just lost me there for a minute.
Okay.
Here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get them to sign up through me, get them on a phone call, and the guy's going to look at you and go, why do you want to talk to me on the phone? I'm just trying to order a stupid card.
Yeah.
Now, well, I'm not saying that somebody won't talk to you, but that's not really what they're there for.
Right. Well, that's actually not true. I'm trying to get them I'm trying to entice them into the card and then actually have them send a free card, but they have to do that through me. I can send them a link for them to do it themselves, but I would much prefer to talk to them. My first order of action is to try and get them on the phone. If I can't accomplish that, then I'm going to actually send them a link to have them do their own card.
I think you're massively overcomplicating this based on what your needs are versus what the need of the guy who's showing up on the site is.
Okay.
Okay, and we've got to keep these things in check. What your need is to get the guy to sign up so that every time he buys a card, you make money off of it, right?
That's the end result, yes.
I mean, you're not going to tell him that, but that's what you're trying to do.
Yes.
Okay, great. His need is, hey, I'm searching greeting cards so I can find a freaking greeting card.
Yeah.
So if you say to him, oh, well, you can get this deal after you jump through this hoop and this hoop and this hoop, and by the way, this hoop is really high and it's got fire on it, then you can have your $7 greeting card.
Right.
And he's going to say, screw that.
Making
I'm
it
not
harder.
going to do that hoop. Why not this? And you know, it's interesting. I'm looking down this, and you've got sort of this I'm a true convert, I'll never go back, free trial. Have you ever found yourself, I think this is all overkill, and this is all a product of this sort of internet marketing, long copy, use a bunch of testimonials and social proof, but
Exactly
I don't
what
think
it
it's really necessary. I think what a guy's going to, okay, if I say to a guy this, what if you could send a custom greeting card for just $7, paper and envelope card, not e-card, U.S. Postal Service included, 17,000 cards to choose from, maybe you know, in 19 categories, completely customized message, created on your computer, and then I'm going to put printed and mailed from our facility, all just $7, done in less than 4 minutes, plus add up to 20, include up to 20 custom photos, 20 of your own. I want to make sure they understand this is your own custom photos for just 31 cents more. You know what the next step should be? You know what guess what the guy's going to be thinking? This is the most important. This is the same thing we were talking with Brad earlier. So the guy reads all that. What's he thinking?
At this point, he's thinking, I want to send the damn card.
At this point, he's thinking, let's back up. He's not thinking, I want to send a card. Here's what he's thinking. Well, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, that sounds pretty good. Now, what are the objections that automatically come into his head? That sounds pretty good, but what?
Too good to be true, some kind of a scam. I mean, that's the first thing that pops up into my mind.
You
want to tell me
what
more?
comes into my mind. That's not what comes into my mind.
Okay. What comes into your
Here's
mind?
what comes into my mind. Okay, I'm going to talk through what he's thinking, but these are all going to be just very quick thoughts that he's not going to specifically have, but he's going to get this feeling, okay? So I'm going to overkill what his thought process is. Okay, that sounds like a pretty good deal, and this is the Internet, and I know that things can be done cheap on the Internet, so this seems within the realm of possibility. I don't think this is necessarily a scam. However, for that cheap price, I wonder if the cards kind of suck.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, really, that's my biggest objection is, okay, and so we all kind of get this thought. We've all seen e-cards, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen an e-card that you really went, wow, that's a great card?
Absolutely not.
Usually you see an e-card and it's some stupid clip art, it's cheesy, it's crappy.
Yeah.
It's certainly not Hallmark quality.
No, and that's can we throw that in? I mean, I can tell you, and I will tell you that the quality is better than anything that Hallmark puts out, unbelievably for that price. But they are.
Okay, so there's two parts of the message. There's two parts of the objection that we've got to address. Number one is, are the designs of the card themselves cheesy and stupid, or are they good? I mean, think about you said earlier, oh, well, you can go to the discount store and get a dollar card. Yeah, but those cards are going to suck.
They are, exactly.
Okay, so one of them is the content of the message of the card. The other part is the quality of the paper and printing on the card.
Yeah.
Okay, so instead of coming into this whole, I'm a true believer, I'll never go back, and this whole, hey, don't you hate driving to the store? Let's hit the objections that they're really having, which is the quality worth it? Because you know what? I don't want to send a card for $7 if the person that gets it's going to go, what a cheesy piece of crap.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed.
Okay, so how about this? Instead of all of this other junk and forms and all that stuff, why not this? Why not simply see the cards right here? Click.
company guidelines. I'm not allowed to direct them. I'm not allowed to direct them right to the website.
When can they see the cards?
Well, that's a funny thing, Rich, is I can actually, if I can actually send them an email with the link, but I cannot post a link on a website. I can get them the link, but I can't post it on the website.
And I'm not trying to say violate that policy or anything. I just want to talk through it a little bit, okay? So don't think I'm trying to circumvent anything here, although I kind of am trying to circumvent it. I just want to understand a little bit better. So you can send them an email, but you can't put a link. If you send them a link, it links to a website, I would assume, right?
Yes.
And can you send me that link real quick so I can look at it right now on this call?
Yes, I can. You want me to send it to you?
Send it to me right now. Let's take a look at it.
Okay. Just give me half a second.
Can you put a form where they fill out their email address or something like that, then they click through to that link?
Absolutely. I can. See, funny enough, I can do that. I can auto-generate an email to them.
Well, no. Without the email, can you ask for their email in a form?
Yeah.
Tell me your name and phone number, and then you can see 17,000 cards. They fill it out, and then immediately it takes them to that page without them having to do a verification or without them having to, whatever. Oh boy. So you're talking about give me your name and email, and as soon as they click that, they're taken to the website? Correct.
Might be able to, but is it that much of a difference if they automatically get an email immediately with the link to the website?
Yes. It's a massive difference. Because now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to start losing guys every time you throw another hoop in. I mean, you're going to lose guys just by having them fill out their email address at this point. But even the guys that do, if it says, oh, okay, now you'll receive an email and validate that, and then you'll be able to get through and see the cards. Boom, you just lost half of the people that otherwise would have just gone straight through.
Okay.
Trust me.
Yeah.
And again, remember why. Because in their mind, they're going, I'm just trying to look at a freaking card.
Yeah.
Why are you making me do all this crap?
Yeah. I don't see why I can't. I'll have to look into the technical side of that to see if I can. If they give me the information, if I can immediately, if they can be taken immediately to that site. See, they go on there. The idea is actually to get them to watch that 3-minute video, but they actually can go in and send a card right away for free, as you can see.
Send a free card.
And then they actually have the CEO walking you through how to send these cards, unless you don't want to, as you just didn't.
Okay, so over here's all the categories, right?
Yeah, and a lot of them get expanded as well.
Okay, because here's what I would like to do. I would like to say, click here to see the cards and start.
Yeah.
And then I'd like them to come right to this page. Now, they've got to sign up with you. I get that. So let's think through that in a minute. But I'd like them to be able to come in here and go, oh, yeah, birthdays. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of cards. Let's see. For, humorous, I always like funny cards. Or let's see, for family, my mother. Okay, my dad might think this is funny. Happy birthday. How do I see what's inside? Okay, right here, inside. Mother's perfect angel. Okay, that's pretty funny. Create the postcard. And now they're starting, right? And can I assume that this is fairly intuitive?
Yeah, actually, you can, absolutely. They're thinking you are walking through yourself, and you haven't seen how it works. That's why when you do, you can have someone walk through it for you, the little animated guy that comes up.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, if I think that was a good option to have somebody walk you through it, or have seen the CEO, whatever.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm trying to say: if the guy's searching for cards, Why not have him making his card within 30 seconds?
If they can, I mean, I'm very computer literate. I can figure that out, but I don't know if everybody can do that.
Okay, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Okay, sorry, Rich.
I'm saying, why not have them in the process of starting to create their cards within 30 seconds, as opposed to why not have them start the process of creating their cards after 7 hoops in 19 minutes?
Right, okay, yeah. No, I agree.
At some point, they're going to start building their own card, no matter how computer literate they are, right?
Yeah.
I just want them to start after 10 seconds, not 19 minutes.
Yeah, makes sense.
So if I had a website that said, what if you could send a custom greeting card for just $1.07, paper and envelope card, not e-card, U.S. postage included, 17,000 cards to choose from, 19 categories or whatever, completely customized message created on your own computer, printed and mailed from our facility, all for just $1.07 and done in less than 4 minutes, and plus include up to 20 of your own custom photos for just 31 cents more. And then I would put right under that, click here to see 17,000 cards in 19 categories. And you know what?
Yeah.
About 85% of the people that read that headline are going to click it.
Yeah, no, why do you think I send these off to you, Rich?
And then their questions about quality are going to be immediately put to rest when they come to this page, not this one right here. They need to come to this page.
I don't think I can.
Can
you
you?
To the other page, I mean, it's literally a matter of clicking one button. And quite frankly, so maybe some people will want to watch the video. I know I did.
I'd rather give them an option to see a video. Here's the problem with the video. It doesn't answer the major question that they have in their mind, which is, do these cards suck?
Right.
Now, I haven't watched the video, so I don't know that for a fact, but the thing that's going to overcome
I think they do. I think it actually does
does
address that, although I may be wrong. I've only watched it a couple of times.
Maybe you should watch your own video. I'm just kidding.
It's me. If someone's watching and I go, buddy, I just want to send a card, click it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to lose me, and I don't know why anybody would say I don't want to watch them. You don't have to watch the video if you don't want to.
Okay, I'm okay with that. Here's what I want to make sure happens is when we're over here on this site, let's just get right to the point. By the way, you need to make this website look this nice.
Okay.
Because this looks like you did it in Microsoft Publisher at 4 in the morning.
Hey. Okay.
This just does not instill confidence at all. This says, oh, this is some internet hype thing.
Yeah, I mean, and you're completely right, because that's where a lot of my marketing is along this line. But so I didn't separate the two.
Yeah, so I would do that. I'd make it look nice. I'd have maybe some I would get it to a designer and say, here, make this look really cool. It's a card thing. We want people to immediately see greeting cards. I think visually they should see greeting cards so that they go, oh, greeting cards.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for now. Let's keep it there.
Okay, no, that's awesome. Big help.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate you participating, and we'll see if we can get the next person on here, who was actually supposed to be the second person. My bad. And who was that exactly? I'm going to go back and check. Cal Bath, Veronica Alvarez. There you are. Veronica, I've got some bad news for you. You're going to have to click an audio pin. Now, here's how you do that. On your keypad of your phone, hit the pound sign, and then 129, and then the pound sign again. It has to be done exactly like that. That is specific to you only. Pound, 129, pound, and then that will tell me that I can talk to you on this call. Otherwise, I can't. Okay, there, that looks good. Veronica, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, hey, that worked. So let's see, I've got your ad. Let me pull it up. And by the way, nice to meet you. I don't think I've met you before.
Oh, nice to meet you too, Rich.
All right, is this the ad we're supposed to be looking at?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, tell me where this ad is going to appear.
That goes on that ad goes into our local newspaper run every week, once a week.
Okay, and how many copies of it go out or whatever? What's the circulation?
Oh, probably 250,000.
So this is not cheap.
This is not cheap, no.
And whereabouts are you located?
In Southern California.
Okay, and what part of Southern Cal, if you don't mind me asking?
Orange County, Newport Beach, California.
Okay. Must be rough living where the weather's great.
It is.
Okay, now tell me what happens normally. I mean, one thing that you've got going for you is you've got this huge circulation. You've got this consistency of it going out every week. So I'm assuming you're getting calls off of this.
We are not as much as we want to, but we are getting calls.
How many calls do you normally get when it goes out?
Off the register, we get roughly between 10 and 30 calls a month.
Per month, right?
Yeah,
so
per month.
Going out. So you're getting between 2 and 6 calls per week, 2 and 7 calls per week, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we could potentially do better. Cal Bath and Kitchen, making the rooms you live, you use, the rooms you love. The Cal Bath Kitchen remodeling experts, bathrooms, shower doors, acrylic systems, kitchens, refinishing, and more. Family owned and operated for 20 years, quality, integrity, value. That's hard to believe that you've got quality, integrity, and value. I'm just being a smart aleck jerk, sorry. Oh, it's been a long call already. Sometimes that happens. Okay, so really what we need to do is we need to do an identity analysis for your company. And here's what that means. We need to find out why somebody would want to buy stuff from your company. Why would they want to do that in the first place? Why is it that people hire you? Are you the cheapest? Are you the highest quality? Do you get it done the fastest? What's the deal?
We're a one-stop shop. So we supply and install anything in the bathroom, kitchen, or closet.
Okay, now you guys only do bathrooms,
Bathrooms and kitchens.
and closets, I think I heard you say also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And would you say you do more bathrooms or more kitchens or more closets?
More bathrooms.
Okay. Out of 100 jobs you do, how many are bathrooms roughly? I'm not going to hold you to this number. I'm just curious.
80.
80. Okay. Hence Cal Bath, right?
Yeah.
Did you add kitchens later? Did it just used to be Cal Bath and then you decided to add kitchens?
That's right.
Hey, lucky guess. Okay. So you do some kitchens. But the kitchen jobs are worth more money, right?
They are, yes.
Okay, so if you do 80 bathrooms, how many kitchens and how many closets?
We do, would say, probably 20 kitchens and no closets. Not very many closets.
Someday it's going to be Cal Bath in kitchen and closets, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. Okay. Now, tell me about your bathroom remodeling. What kind of a bathroom remodeler are you? Are you a acrylic liner? Are you a acrylic replacement but not a liner? Are you a tub and tile replacement? What are you typically?
We do everything. So we do bathroom refinishing, bathroom acrylics. We do full full-on tile, solid surface material. I mean, we're like it's
Okay.
a full-service bathroom remodeling company. So
Do you do liners at all if people want them?
we do, yeah.
Okay, so you've got the full gamut. If somebody says, hey, this is a rental and we don't care, just come stick a liner on it, boom, liner. If they come in and say, we got a $3 million home, we want the whole bathroom ripped out and redone with cool stuff, you can do that too. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, where do you tend to, out of the 80 jobs you do out of 100, where do they tend to fall in that spectrum of types of remodels?
We tend to do more of acrylic on refinishing, and tile.
Rich, my name's Dan. I'm one of the owners at CalBath. I'm on the call also.
Hey, Dan.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for being on the call, both of you.
Thank you. Typically our target is what we consider mid-market, and it's somewhere between the $7,000 and $12,000 job. Which is can be a combination of acrylic replacement package or just a shower remodel or a secondary bathroom model.
Okay. And can I assume that you guys are a fairly good-sized company relative to the market?
Yeah, we have multiple locations between Orange County and San Diego. Long-term staff, been doing this a while.
How many jobs do you do in a month?
We do probably about 20, just out of our Orange County office, about 20 jobs a month.
And what about in the company in total?
Probably about 50 jobs a month.
50 jobs a month. Okay. Now, you're in a big market, and there's probably some big players, but I'm going to assume that doing 50 jobs a month, is that all in California, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, doing 50 jobs a month, can I assume that puts you probably in the top 10% of largest, most volume bathroom remodelers?
Yes.
Okay. Who's your biggest competitor that you seem to be butting up against all the time?
Well, kind of a combination, because I think we're unique in the fact of all the products and services we offer. We butt up against the other acrylic suppliers like a rebath companies, and as well as there's a local remodeling company called Reborn Cabinets, which has also kind of gotten into, obviously they do kitchens and cabinetry, but they've gotten into the bathrooms as well.
Okay. And do you tend to quote against these guys a lot?
Yes.
Okay. And where are you price-wise relative to those guys?
Depending on the product, I think typically we're less.
Okay, so apples to apples, you're going to be less typically?
Well, apples to apples on initial quote, we're less, because it seems to be just on the feedback we get from our estimators. They started taking a more replacement contractor approach, where they go in with a high price and then they have 2 or 3 drops, and by the time 6 hours later when they want to leave the house, the price may be a little bit more comparable to what we offered on the first pass.
But you typically have lower prices, right?
Yeah.
No pricing games, is that right? Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah, no, we tend to try to, we'll be competitive and we'll negotiate where needed, but it's not an integrated strategy where we go in, 50% high and plan on dropping the price 3 different times.
What percentage of jobs do you end up doing some negotiation on? Is it most of them or relatively few of them?
Well, in these times and this market, a lot of them. It's definitely still a buyer's market where, we got to be flexible.
Okay. Do your appointments take less time since you're not going in and doing all that junk?
Yeah, well, we work off of a slightly different model, which we may be looking to refine a little bit, but as opposed to a one-stop close where these other companies are going in and their intention is to sell and close the job right there. On most of what we go on, or I should say a lot of what we go on, we prescribe to a two-stop close and try to get the potential customer back into the showroom so they can take a look at what we're offering them.
And can I assume your showroom is vast and impressive?
Yes.
And how many different things does it have, different, you know what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
setups?
Probably just in one showroom, probably 25 to 30.
How many showrooms do you have?
3, or actually 4 counting, we have an office in San Jose, California, which is Northern California, so 4.
That doesn't really relate to this particular marketing piece, though, is that correct?
No, it doesn't.
But do the other 3 showrooms all relate to where this piece was being distributed?
Yeah, it's all, everywhere from Orange County down through San Diego.
Okay, good. So basically, if somebody lives in Southern California, you service them, is that right?
That's correct.
Even, I mean, I'm not that familiar with the geography, but I know where San Diego is. I know that Orange County is kind of on the southern end of the Los Angeles area. As you get up into the northern end, do you service that as well?
We do. I mean, we have jobs up there. We're a little bit more, for lack of a better term, discriminating on those, depending on what their project and their scope is and their budget. Whereas, in Orange County or San Diego, if they call, we will come out and give them a free in-home estimate / consultation. When you get to the kind of the further away you get from our office, like Northern LA County, I think you're referring to, it's more of a phone consultation to make sure that, that what they want in terms of scope and budget, we can offer and meet.
Okay. Okay. I may want to have a more comprehensive call with you. We'll go through this flyer right now a little bit, but I may want to have a little bit more comprehensive call with you just to get a better feel for kind of your whole situation, what you're doing, and where you're spending your money, and your website and all that stuff.
Sure.
Not necessarily suggesting there's problems there, but I think it's worth looking at. Because, in reality, the very first thing we want to do is we want to start to create an identity for your company. And we want to find a way to articulate it in a way that instantly communicates who you are and what you do with a tremendous amount of power, precision, and passion. And right now, looking at this flyer, which I'm going to assume is relatively equivalent to what your website looks like, it basically just says, hey, we're here, we've got stuff. And there's no particular hook, there's no particular promise, there's no particular anything other than we're a company that has this stuff.
Right.
And as I talk to you and you tell me we do 50 jobs a month and we've got better prices, I would assume that has something to do with a fair amount of volume purchases, systemization, able to spread costs over a large number of jobs type of scenario. True enough?
Yes.
Okay. Your low or no pressure closing, not camping out in their living room for 6 hours, going through 3 different predefined price drops, having 3 showrooms in the area with 25 or 30 setups so that they can come look. I mean, this is a very impressive thing you've got. And when I look at your flyer, guess what?
Right. Well, I mean, you're kind of hitting the nail on the head. I mean, we're struggling to kind of be able to express express simply and, like you said, passionately and strongly why we're unique. Without it turning into a 4-page dissertation.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me ask you this: if you were to talk to your customers, and I'm sure you do, if you were to talk to your customers and you said, look, you just got your new bathroom with CalBath, number 1, why did you choose them? And number 2, what did you think about the job they did? And I don't mean, hey, it was great. Specifically, what about the job did you like, assuming you liked it? What would they say?
I think they would say we were easy to work with, we were professional.
What do you mean easy to work with?
Easy to work with in the fact that we were responsive to the customer's wants and needs. We in-home appointments, offering them a showroom, detailed proposals to let them know exactly what they're getting. the fact that their jobs are run, their projects are run by company employees and not subcontractors. That is a big deal in our market. You know, a lot of other companies strictly use subcontractors, so you buy it from, you deal with one person when you buy it, and then all of a sudden a whole different kind of setup shows up to your house to do the work.
How much money do you require down?
Well, by California contractor law, it's 10%.
10%, okay. Is that the maximum or the minimum according to law, or the only amount?
It's the maximum according to law.
Okay. What's the minimum?
I think $100.
Okay. Okay. You know, this is something that I think is going to require a little bit more than the time I have available on this call.
Sure.
Because really what we're talking about here is thinking through your entire identity for your company, something that we can really hang the proverbial hat on that can then be distributed not just in this ad, but also on your website. I want to take a quick look at your website if you don't mind.
Sure, please do.
Let's pull this guy up and see what we've got. There we go. Yeah. So, you know, this is kind of typical what you see on higher end remodelers. You've got a lot of pictures of really cool looking stuff, and basically what's being communicated here is we do this stuff and we do a good job. And that's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that communication. Nobody's going to mistake this for we do this and we suck. So that's positive. But in terms of, you know, really what's the difference and why you'd want to do business with us, we need to make that pop.
Right.
I would say that your flyer and your website is exactly what I expected after having looked at your flyer.
Okay.
You get a lot of business through the internet?
We do.
What percentage would you say?
Well, it's growing all the time. I would say we have the marketing reports, but I don't have it in front of us. I would say probably 35 to 40%.
Do you know how much of that results from the flyers and then people actually end up going to the website instead?
No, we just, you know, I want to say it was probably maybe 4 months ago we started using a unique toll-free number to be able to track that more accurately.
Right, but in terms of web traffic, you don't know how much web traffic's coming from.
No, I mean that's the problem with the internet stuff, because obviously our newspaper rep says, well, you got to, you know, you have to keep the newspaper adds to your, you know, internet traffic. So, but there's no way
that is.
It's hard to differentiate where it's all coming from.
What do you guys do besides this this ad? 250,000 people every week. Where are your other major advertising or marketing expenses?
Home shows, events. We've been in a couple magazines that we're not currently doing right now. The pay-per-click campaigns, SEO, and you know, Yellow Pages, but that does not even really making the budget anymore. So it's a minimal. It's
okay.
Happening next year.
So outside of events and internet initiatives, this really is the only quote-unquote advertising you're doing. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean the other elements that are out there, all our trucks and vehicles are logoed. We canvass neighborhoods in the areas that we're working in or giving proposals in with you know, door hangers or leave behinds, those sort of things. But we're not doing any direct mail campaigns or anything like that.
How many sales guys do you have?
In Orange County we have 5, and in San Diego we have 4.
So 9. And if you don't mind me asking, how much budget is going towards this newspaper project? Or maybe you'd rather answer that off a public call.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a package deal because the newspaper also offers some social media deals and internet SEO services that's kind of packaged up, but the contract's about $95,000 a year.
Well, that's not bad.
Combined print and all that, and we can, wherever we choose to spend the money, it's, we can spend it.
So basically, for $8,000 a month, you can get 250,000 flyers out every week?
Well, they're not. See, that's the thing. They're not flyers. They're advertisements in a home and garden section.
I got it. Okay.
Right next to
I thought this was a flyer. Got it. This is an actual ad in the paper.
This is an actual ad in the paper.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to push pause on this conversation. And what I want to do is, first of all, think through this a little bit, and then I'm going to have Judy in my office contact you, and let's put together a call where we continue this. And I want to work through your identity a little bit more. So I think this is too important to try to throw together right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I appreciate that.
Plus, we're running long. So with that being said, if it's okay with you, we'll go ahead and push pause right now, and we'll catch up with you on the backside at a time that's convenient for us later this week.
Okay.
Stan. Okay?
That sounds great. Thanks, Rich.
Okay, thanks. And with that said, we will, I think we might have one more person here. Oh, it's going to be Joe. I don't know if Joe's on here or not. I don't see Joe. He was going to be iffy, so it looks like he iffied out. So we'll go ahead and wrap up there. But let me just make a comment about this ad. If we're going out in the newspaper to 225,000 people per week, we want to make sure that we're putting forth an accurate representation of why people want to do business with us. Now, let's think through this one thing for just a minute. Remodeling is something that we've got to think through this issue. We've got to look at the educational spectrum and decide, are we trying to get people to buy from us, or are we trying to convince people that they want to buy this service in the first place? And probably, I'm going to think through this a little bit. We probably want to focus more of our efforts on why people would want to do business with us and skim that market of people that are already sort of in the mode of thinking about it. That's just something that we've got to put some thought process into. I'll do that when I talk with these guys a little bit later. But I think that's where we're going to end up right now. So thanks for participating. Appreciate everybody being on the call today. And we will be back, I'm not sure when. I think next Thursday we've got, or this Thursday. Do we have a call this Thursday? You think I would know because I have it on my calendar right here in front of me. And the answer is we've got an Innovation Hour call and an Insiders Open Forum next Thursday, the 16th. So we'll talk to you then, and appreciate everybody being on the call today. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. See ya.
The organizer has ended the session.